Further details on the so-called kill team have now been revealed after 3 men accused of planning a daylight murder near a childcare center faced court, following a dramatic police interception. During a routine surveillance operation in the Condell Park area on Tuesday 7th of October, detectives identified 3 men mobilizing to carry out an offense. Assistance was sought from the Tactical Operations Unit, PolAir, Dog Squad, and State Intelligence Command. At around 3:50 p.m., 2 vehicles were intercepted by police on the River Road in Revesby, bringing a dramatic end to what detectives believe was a planned hit near a Sydney daycare center. Witnesses watched as the operation unfolded in broad daylight, with unmarked police cars suddenly boxing in the suspects, before heavily armed officers swarmed the scene. Moments later, police opened fire with several rounds aimed at disabling the vehicle, creating chaos on the busy street as bystanders watched in shock. Officers then rushed in, dragging the driver from the car and forcing him to the ground, reportedly slamming him down multiple times while others stood ready with assault rifles aimed at the suspects. The high-risk takedown was part of an ongoing investigation targeting organized crime figures believed to be working under overseas direction. From one car, police arrested 2 men, aged 18 and 19. A third 26-year-old man was also arrested from a second car nearby. They were arrested, cuffed and taken to Bankstown Police Station, where they were later refused bail to appear in Bankstown local court. The 3 men arrested during the dramatic operation have now been identified as 19-year-old Kevin Mundine, 18-year-old Greall Tighe, and 26-year-old Tyrone Rio, who police allege was the oldest and most experienced of the 3 hired guns. When officers searched the 2 vehicles, they reportedly uncovered an alarming stash of items believed to be part of this planned hit. Among the discoveries were 2 firearms, several balaclavas, body-worn GoPro camera, and petrol cans filled with fuel. Investigators later located a 3rd firearm during follow-up searches of other vehicles and properties allegedly linked to the trio. One of the seized weapons drew particular attention, which was a 9mm Glock 19 pistol, Cerakoted in prison pink, a distinctive color choice that may have been intended to disguise or personalize the weapon. Detectives are now piecing together how the group obtained the firearms and whether they were following orders from higher-level criminal figures operating overseas. Police claim that the men armed with pistols and balaclavas were on a mission to kill a man as he arrived to pick up a child from a nearby daycare. According to investigators, the intended victim is known to police and is cooperating with authorities. It is believed the man has links to organized crime, and detectives suspect the plot was connected to a falling out within a criminal network. Tighe and Rio appeared before Bankstown local court on Wednesday, October 8, where both were formally remanded in custody until December 3. The pair entered the courtroom wearing blue forensic suits, with noticeable bruising on their faces and bodies, signs of the violent confrontation that took place during their arrest. At the time of his arrest, Tighe was already on bail for 17 separate breaking in and burglary charges, and his bail was revoked. He and co-accused Mundine now face serious charges including conspiracy to commit murder, possession of an unauthorized pistol, being carried in a conveyance taken without the owner's consent, participation in a criminal group, and breach of bail. Rio was allegedly recruited to assist in this failed plot. He has been charged with conspiracy to commit murder and participation in a criminal group. According to detectives, the men were acting as low-level enforcers, operating on orders from higher figures within Sydney's organized crime circles. Police believe they were not senior members of any particular syndicate, but rather expendable foot soldiers, sent to do the dirty work for more powerful players who remain overseas but are under investigation. When the incident first unfolded, a wave of rumors began circulating online. The most persistent claim was that Tyrone Rio had been arrested, largely because the police operation looked strikingly similar to a 2022 incident in Edgecliff. On that occasion, officers had fired rubber bullets to halt Rio as he moved through heavy traffic, and the dramatic nature of the current operation sparked immediate comparisons. However, these reports were false. Rio has not been apprehended and remains on the run, having previously breached his bail conditions. Another rumor swirling at the time suggested that the alleged kill squad had been hired by Kaz Hamad or was connected in some way to the Alameddine network, a well-known criminal organization in Sydney. The speculation gained momentum because reports indicated the group was acting under instructions from overseas bosses, implying a level of coordination beyond local street-level crime. Social media and online forums quickly filled with theories linking Kazamad to the operation, with many suggesting he may have been directing or funding the group's activities from abroad. However, police have not confirmed any ties to Hamad or the Alameddine network. Instead, reports indicate the suspects were connected to an Asian crime group. According to sources, the men were allegedly hired to target a known criminal as part of an internal power struggle within a Southeast Asian syndicate, specifically a Vietnamese criminal network operating in Australia. During the press conference, police were questioned about public safety, as the operation unfolded during rush hour in heavy traffic and a busy public area. Reporters particularly asked about shots being fired in a public setting and the risks involved. It is understood that officers fired beanbag rounds, which are a type of less lethal ammunition used by police. They are small fabric pouches usually made of Kevlar, filled with lead shot or metal pellets, fired from a 12-gauge shotgun. When fired, the bag spreads out in flight and hits the target with a strong blunt impact instead of penetrating the body like a bullet would. Besides 2 firearms, balaclavas and body-worn cameras, police also found a 4-word note, written on a cardboard that they claim was to be placed on top of the victim after he had been murdered. This note was allegedly discovered in the car's back seat, and read T.F.C.F, meaning the final crime family. Tighe had a GoPro strapped to his chest, which was intended to be worn during the shooting, to record or live stream it back to the organizers of this murder. Messages sent to the kill team on the encrypted app Threema instructed them that once the job was done, they should place this cardboard over the dead body. They were also instructed to shoot the victim at point-blank range and smoke him. Police are also looking at potential ties between this hit and the kidnapping and murder of Sydney woman T. Kim Tran, who was abducted from her home in Bankstown on April 17, stripped naked on the street and forced into the back of an SUV. Hours after her abduction, police located Tran's remains in a burnt-out car in Beverly Hills. She had been shot dead and burnt. Investigators are closely examining links between Tran's death and this daycare murder plot. Following this River Road interception, detectives from the organized crime squad also came into action and have now charged 3 alleged contract criminals, seized 5 vehicles, and executed 8 search warrants as part of Strike Force Flooding. Detectives revealed that the strike force is targeting so-called contract criminals and their network of staged vehicles, commonly referred to as kill cars, believed to be used in violent crimes around the city. Contract criminals are individuals hired by organized crime networks to carry out violent acts such as murders, kidnappings, and other serious offenses. Officers believe the cars used in the River Road incident were supplied by these groups. On Thursday, 9th of October, detectives launched an operation, targeting members of the G7 crew, a group allegedly using the car network to carry out contracts for other OCNs. From 6 a.m., 8 search warrants were executed across Sydney's southwest. In Oran Park, 2 men aged 18 and 21 were arrested. The younger man was charged with dealing with property intended for criminal use, conspiracy to kidnap, participating in a criminal group, and 4 counts of dealing with proceeds of crime. The older man was charged with 2 counts of possessing or using a prohibited weapon without a permit, possessing a defaced firearm, dealing with proceeds of crime, dealing with property intended for criminal use, and participating in a criminal group. Both men were refused bail to appear in Bail Division local court. A 16-year-old boy was also arrested in Hinchinbrook and charged with driving and being carried in a stolen vehicle, driving without a license, and participating in a criminal group. He too was refused bail and appeared in a children's court the same day. During the raids, police seized 5 vehicles, a firearm, ammunition, $41,000 in cash, GPS trackers, and 37 mobile phones and encrypted communication devices. Commander of the Organized Crime Squad, Detective Superintendent Peter Foe, detailed how important it is to infiltrate these car networks. The use of kill cars has emerged as a common denominator in serious and violent crimes linked to organized crime, including murders, kidnappings, and other high-risk offenses. These vehicles aren't just transport, they're tools of violence. Without them, offenders lose mobility, anonymity, and the ability to commit serious offenses. We've had enormous success targeting organized crime by following the money. Now we're following the cars, and it's proving just as effective. Recognizing their important role is helping us stay ahead of contract criminals and allowing us to intervene before harm is done. Speaking on the Rivers Road operation, Superintendent Peter Foe said that police believe they prevented a major public tragedy. We allege these men were on their way to murder someone, and by acting quickly we stopped not only that crime but also potential harm to innocent bystanders. Assistant Commissioner Cook praised the operation, noting that the location being near to a daycare could have led to so much collateral damage. He added that authorities will continue dismantling the organized crime groups operating across Sydney, especially when their actions threaten public safety. Cook assured the public that the men were never going to make it to any childcare center, saying the police response was swift and decisive. The collateral damage there would have been far too great. The Revesby interception has marked a major breakthrough in Sydney's ongoing battle against organized crime. What began as a daylight police takedown outside a daycare has since revealed a deeper criminal web involving contract killers, overseas networks, and the growing use of kill cars to carry out violent acts across the city. Authorities say their swift action likely prevented a public tragedy and exposed how young recruits are being drawn in as disposable enforcers for powerful figures abroad. With Strike Force Flodine now dismantling these networks one layer at a time, detectives believe they are closing in on those orchestrating the violence from behind the scenes. The operation also highlighted the evolving tactics of organized crime in Sydney, including the use of encrypted messaging apps, body cameras, and carefully staged vehicles to coordinate hits. Police say these innovations make tracking and intercepting offenders more complex, but also provide critical evidence when operations are foiled. By combining intelligence, surveillance, and rapid tactical response, law enforcement is sending a clear message: attempts to carry out violent crimes in public spaces will not go unchecked, and those involved will face serious consequences. However, it will be interesting to see whether this latest crackdown truly weakens Sydney's contract killing operations or if new players will simply rise to fill the void. If you're looking for more exciting and eye-catching regular bikie and organized crime updates, don't hesitate, smash that subscribe button, spread the word rapidly, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome and take care. Wu-Tang.